I'm gonna give you 5 awesome tricks to do at your house, whether you're a beginner or an advanced rider. And today's video is brought to you by Benetek's fog-free guarantee. That's gonna be discussed a little bit later, but there is absolutely no excuse for you not to follow along, because if you have a snowboard addiction setup, awesome. If you don't, guess what? Grab your own boots and boards and follow along. If you have one of these awesome snowboard addiction curb setups, sick. But if you don't, guess what? You can literally use a couch cushion, or that's that pillow, or you can use a couch cushion. So definitely grab your gear, get strapped in, and follow along for these 5 awesome tricks. Let's go. Let's start with the setup. I have about a $15 to $20 Astro turf little setup thing just so that I can protect the ground. I don't own yet, and I definitely will one day, but I'm making sure that I don't ruin any of my landlord's stuff. Next, I have the couch cushion. Again, it's gonna make for an unstable platform. So the first time you ever jump on, just be aware it's gonna be a little unstable. I have it a little bit longer just so I have more surface area to help balance. If I wanted to make it more challenging, I could definitely turn it, but for now, I'm gonna keep it set up. And the last thing is going to be our eyes and lead shoulder want to be pointed down a designated downhill. So you, as you watch this video, I'm gonna keep my eyes and lead shoulder pointed at you when it's appropriate for the trick, and I'll explain that as we go. And the very first trick we're gonna start with is going to be a nice little warm up. So I'm simply gonna jump on into a 50-50 position, hop on. Again, I wanna make sure that I aim at my eyes and my shoulder towards you. So I'm gonna jump on, try to feel how stable or unstable your surface is. I'm gonna hop off. It's a bit of a big hop off for me. And if you're really awesome at snowboarding, you could definitely do this whole entire video switch. I'm so hyped on the goggles that I started that I'm gonna do a 30-day money back guarantee. If you don't like them or they don't fit right, send them back. No questions asked, send them back. You can even keep the free gift, which is every time you buy a pair of goggles, you're gonna get a sick foam roller, which is great for traveling and making sure that you can snowboard all day because it helps lactic acid and stuff. But I also have a money back guarantee. If your goggles fog and you're not hyped with them, send them back, keep the gift. But I believe in these goggles so much. I rode over 200 days in them and I freaking love them. Literally the sickest goggles I've ever worn. So if you're interested in picking up Benetek goggles, check out shopbenetek.com. Also got a whole bunch of hoodies, hats, and tech hoodies, waterproof jackets. They're incredible. Check them out, and let's get back to the video. The next challenge that I have is going to start getting a little bit of forward and backwards movement. So I'm gonna do a tail press. I'm gonna set myself up with my back binding to the center of my jib feature, couch cushion. I'm gonna jump on and I'm gonna shift my board underneath me and hop in and try to get the nose to be as up as possible. Ooh, ooh. Now, this is going to be tricky, so definitely feel free to do this multiple times. I'm gonna do it one more time, but I'm gonna try to shift my weight a little bit back and my legs forward, try to establish a better balanced position. 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, look where I'm going. Fighting for it, nose is up, feeling pretty awesome. I'm gonna hop off. Woo! If you're following along, this definitely could be a leg burner, and I'm absolutely sweating my freaking head off. All right. Next, we're going to shift into exercise number 3, and that's gonna be a nose press. Essentially identical to what we just did, so make sure our eyes and lead shoulder pointed downhill, except we're gonna be balancing on our lead foot and hoping and ideally getting our tail to be off of the ground, the floor, the surface, whatever it is. 3, 2, 1, hop in, try to get my eyes to look down the hill, feel it, kinesthetic, and pop out. Woo, pretty freaking awesome. I'm gonna do that one more time. I did notice that I stared at the couch cushion a long time. In real snowboarding, you don't have time just to stare down at your feet because you got to anticipate the end of the rail. So let's go ahead and do that. 3, 2, 1. Oh yeah, that felt way better. As I was in the air, I literally could feel how much better it was. Keeping my lead shoulder, eyes, everything over, trying to really press into that. And I'm gonna hop out and go back to our neutral position. That has been 3 exercises. Let's move on to number 4. And we're gonna do a thing called a frontside lip slide. Now this is gonna be a little bit challenging, especially if you have limited space as I do. So I'm gonna scoot myself back a little bit. I'm gonna get my sick snowboard feature to move over a little bit. My goal is to jump, rotate my board 90 degrees, but I have to leap a little bit towards the feature so that I can land on my lead foot and my back foot goes over. If that was too complicated, it looks like this. Start with the front side of your body, hop over, woo, jib, Somehow I didn't have enough space. I'm landing on my couch, which totally cheating. I'm gonna pop back out. Let's see if I can get a little bit more space. And for those that are commenting down below how much my neighbors are pissed off, I don't have downstairs neighbors, luckily. It's just a garage. So here we are, moving this a little bit. I'm gonna leap, try to get this again. My goal is to hold this for 5 seconds with my lead shoulder pointed at you. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Pop out. Ooh. I definitely could admit that this could be way more awesome if I had a little bit more space. So definitely tag me if you're gonna do this, because I wanna see you ripping it up at your house before the season starts. Now, exercise number 5 is going to involve a little bit of technicality, and this is gonna be fun. Our goal now is to do a frontside 180. We will be taking off with ourselves facing the feature, and you're most likely gonna be taking off on a toe side edge. In this situation, we're gonna do a 180. And then our goal is to jump back the same 180 we just did in reverse, and then hop back in the same place without losing our balance. That would be the absolute goal. So here we go. 1, make sure I have space, right? Okay, 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna balance, look, and then I'm gonna finish. If you're having trouble with this, I highly recommend that you're winding up your shoulders more and that you get a nice wind up with your legs bent. And then as I throw, I'm really trying to punch my back hand towards that designated downhill, which would be you. So my back shoulder, as I do this next example, you're gonna notice that I drive towards you pretty rapidly, and then my lower body will follow. It will look like this. 1, 2, 3, shoulder. This thing got there really quick, and then I'm gonna pop back. Same thing. It's a little bit easier on the way out just because I can spring off of this a little bit more, and I'm not having to jump up to something, but it's definitely super awesome. Now I'm gonna give you a nice, fun little bonus because I feel like you've been watching, you've made it this far. I appreciate you, and I feel like I owe you a little bit more. This next one, I've never broken my board, but definitely please be advised that there is the possibility. My goal is to be able to do this thing called a nose block. Pretty freaking cool, right? But I don't expect you just to jump in like I did. So I'm gonna build you a nice little 3-step progression because you're amazing and I appreciate you watching. Our very first thing we're gonna do, start in a nice balanced position and make sure that your surface that you're jibbing on is slightly grippy, slightly has some friction, because we're gonna rock forward just a little bit. We're gonna do that 3 times, rock forward, and just feel that abrasiveness on your board and the stickiness on your board. And then we're gonna try to do that again, but briefly, I'm gonna pull up my back leg, trying to get the tail to rise, but don't do it so aggressively you fall over. Asterisk, you can do this nose or tail, whatever's more comfortable for you. So I'm gonna shift forward, pull that up. Notice that I'm still in a very fantastic balance position, and I'm just pulling this leg. If I don't pull my leg, my board goes that high. I pull my board, notice I'm rocking onto the tip of that board. Pretty fantastic. So number 3, the third step would be do this again, and without staring at your tail or the tip of the board, I want you to try to find it with your hand. We're gonna rock up. Oh, I touched it with a fingertip. Cool, now I know I need to pull up my back leg a little bit more, and I gotta grip a little bit more, keeping my shoulders stacked. Oh, there it is. Oh, let's go. And if you follow this progression, you should be able to rock into it, find it, and not fall over. Rock into it, find it. And I'm actually trying to grip the tip of the board so I can get a little bit of a pause in there. Oh, and then I can determine when I let go. If I hold it too long, I'm totally gonna fall over and smack my head. Probably should put a helmet on, but we don't. But so then now here, boom. And the final step of this nose or tail block would be ideally jumping, letting the leg sweep underneath you and grabbing the tip of the board or the tail of the board. So I'm gonna do it just like that, like I did in the beginning. So I'm gonna jump up. Notice that I'm no longer shifting forward, but if I had a line on the ground, I'm trying to get that nose or the whichever part you're on, your nose or your tail, I'm trying to get that to sweep underneath my belly button. So as we watch it again, I'm gonna scoot over just a little bit, watch my belly button, and notice how close I'm getting that tip of the board to be underneath. That way, as soon as I get into the nose block for me, then I'm in a more balanced position. I'm not back, I'm not forward, and then I can spring out of it. It's really hard to hold this thing for about 14 hours, but still a good time. So now I'm gonna go make stickers with my girlfriend, but as a bonus, if you watch to the end, I'm gonna put a secret code at the end of the video, and if you tell me what that word is at the end of the video, I'm gonna send you the stickers, and whoever does it first, I'm gonna give you an awesome 3-pack of stickers for Benetek. On that note, let's jump in, let's go hang out with the GF. Let's go. So classic girlfriend move. She said she was gonna hang out with me, but she ended up bailing, so all good. But what we're gonna do is make some Benetek stickers, and then the owner of the CrossFit gym, I was gonna make some stickers from him too, so I'm gonna import that and then make stickers. And then we have some really awesome new colors. Check this out. This one is peach. Look at that, that's so sick. We got this purple, yes, let's go. And then we also have this one. But in this video, I'm just gonna make this one. So if you want to win a sticker, keep watching. So I'm gonna go into a time lapse. So this is going to be the most challenging part of the whole thing. I have to somehow peel out this corner right here, and the goal is to not mess up any of the Benetek logos. Sometimes I'll put a square around it, but this time I didn't. So this is going to be interesting, and I hope this all works out. Now, one of the things that ends up happening is, yeah, some of the material is gonna break off, and when it breaks off, it's actually kind of nice, because the goal is to not have any material touch the other material because it's going to stick to each other. So we're actually kind of doing okay. So this is not going as smooth as the black one did, but that's okay. So we're just going to keep ripping off some of this material. Yep, this is ripping amazing, but you know, it's part of the process when you make this stuff on your own. It's been a really big part of the process of really starting Benetek and owning my own company. Is my goal is to learn as much different stuff as possible. Just like, all right, cool, well, do I know the basics of building a website? Eventually, I'm gonna hire somebody to build a website, but if I know how a website works, then at least I know how to hire somebody, or I know how to know if the website is like awesome or not. So that's definitely been like a pretty big cool thing. And then like the whole manufacturing aspect of this whole project is, like manufacturing process is super challenging. And one thing I did not expect was how time consuming the whole project is. Like everything is like, oh, I just want to create sunglasses. That's a big ordeal. Oh, I just want to create a really cool puffy jacket, which has been taking me 3 years. I'm actually going to do a nice little life hack. I'm going to find the line of the material and cut just the top layer of material, and watch this. This is gonna be incredible. Y'all are gonna be impressed. So now when I weed the stickers, look how much better that is. Boom, we're freaking crushing it. Then there's this part. But yeah, there's like part of the process of manufacturing and communications, and that stuff has been a lot more challenging than I would ever imagine. And timelines are an absolute nightmare. You want to try to get stuff done, it takes forever. Like designing my goggles was like such a big challenge. And I'm gonna do a whole nother video on what like Benetek goggles and why I started Benetek and everything. Oh, did you see that? That one was a rip. So that one's busted. It's a bit of a bummer. But when it comes to, where was I going with that? When it comes to like the process of manufacturing and everything, like designing the goggles was like such a fun experience, but every time I would do a new iteration of goggles, it would take literally 3 months for a new design. And then I'd give them feedback based on that design, but that would take another 90 days. So we're talking 3 months. Like, oh, this part was like half a millimeter off. Can we change this? They're like, yeah, no problem. Literally months and months later go by, which is like, oh, such a wild time. And then I also see why people don't don't start businesses. And it's just like, you start to see like behind the scenes, this is so awesome and rewarding and fun and fantastic, but it takes a certain individual who's willing to play the long game. Because, you know, 3 to 4 years to do my goggles, I mean, that was a big process to do that. It wasn't just, oh, we're just gonna do goggles, because I could have easily put my Benetek logo on somebody else's goggles and called it a day, but that's not something I wanted to do. That's for sure. This one's being a little pain. Definitely didn't want to do that, but I just got a text message. I just got my phone. It's my brother. He's shooting me a text message. What up, brother? This is a bummer. So I'm gonna go through right now and just peel out this part of it, the bees, the little bees out here, you know, for Benetek. But where was I? Yeah. So as far as just the turnaround time on everything was like absolutely incredible and / like super long. And then you get something where it's like, oh, we're like 99.99% there. And you find a small error, like, you know, a certain nose bridge shape was not appropriate and it caused pain and it was like uncomfortable. Cool, let's go ahead and change that. Well, that's gonna be another 3 months, but you're 99.99999% there. Do you really wanna wait another 3 months? And it's like, at that time that I'm specifically talking about, I think it was like November. So I was like, all right, so if I tried to just get away with it, okay, cool, we can like try to get on market like now. It's like November. Okay, maybe we can get our goggles out by, you know, middle of the season, do a beta run for the middle of the season, and then really hit hard the next season. Or do we spend another 3 months and we know we already lost this entire season? And if that's the case, you know, those are the decisions that got to be made. Do I go to market with a product that I don't feel good about, but I need to like recoup some money and try to pay some bills? Or do I just bite the bullet and try to produce a product that's like really damn good? Well, that was part of the process on why everything took so long, was because I had to make those decisions. Try to put out a quality product or literally just wait. What I'm doing is some of these ends got messed up and this end got messed up and I can't really salvage them. So what I'm doing is I'm pulling this whole sticker off so that at least I can save the logo, but I also don't want to make the sticker and then it get lost and me forget which one was bad and then it gets shipped out to somebody. So this is part of my quality control. Unfortunately, yeah, I'm wasting a bit of sticker, but at the same time, again, you gotta make sure quality is good. So when it comes to back to the goggle thing, I was in that situation where it's like, I could try to put out a goggle right now and it's not gonna be awesome, or I just wait another year. Well, what I decided to do was wait another year and perfect it even more and even more, so that when I do put out a product, that it is like ready to go. It's like 100% market tested, market ready. It also gave me more time to not be in a rush. Okay, maybe I do want to fix one more little thing. Well, what if I wanted to add this or change this? Or, hey, I want to add, like, the teal and orange goggle was not part of the plan from the beginning. It was kind of a last minute thing, because I wanted a goggle that was like fun and exciting and cool versus just having a strictly black and white. Look at this sticker, it's coming out nice. So I gotta go back through the B's and just make sure I got them all, because I forgot one here. So then, then that gave me enough time to go through the, you know, colors. Like, what color do I want? And then we had a color that I just didn't feel like, it was like cool, but it wasn't like super cool, because I wanted something that would stand out. And I also wanted, you know, black and white that were cool too. So that was like a big process. And then while I'm doing that, you have a goggle manufacturer. While I'm using a completely different, separate lens manufacturer, which is good because I wanted Zeiss lenses specifically. And so I was definitely willing to, you know, invest in like good lenses. But that was also like another process. It's like, all right, well, I need samples. Cool, that's gonna be 6 to 8 weeks. What? Okay, that's 2 months, not a big deal. But then it's like, okay, cool, when I got samples, but then I had like, once I got the samples, then I bought X amount of lenses. I think I bought like 2,000-3,000 pairs of lenses. Okay, cool, that's gonna take like 4 months to produce. And I was like, oh, all right, next step. The next step is taking this adhesive tape, putting it on the sticker. So I'm gonna do that just now. I found a nice hack is making sure this thing is secure so it doesn't run away, especially being a one-person job. This little mechanism here is fantastic. So I'm gonna do this. We're actually going to turn it so that it's this way. This is way easier. Then we gotta make sure it's all lined up. Make sure we're not using too much extra, but we do want enough. Boom, just like that. We're gonna grab a nice little credit card, but I actually use a big, I don't know if you can see it, a big snow pass, because why not, right? So we're making sure we push all the air out, making sure it's going the other way. We're gonna stretch this out a little bit. Make sure we push the air out, just like this. Boom, look at this beautiful sticker. And I said this earlier, but this sticker right here is for my CrossFit gym. The owner was sitting there one day just rewriting this thing like 1,000 times. I was like, hey man, I make stickers. I should just make you a sticker so you don't have to rewrite it, and it looks clean AF. So, and then I didn't know what size exactly we wanted, so gave him some options. Plus I gave him black, and we're gonna do this purple one because why not? So right now I'm just taking off some of the extra adhesive tape just on the side, just so when we go to the next step, it just makes things easier. So I'll pull that off, all the tape goes to the side, and pretty freaking awesome. So more about, yeah, you know, the whole like Benetek thing. I think it's gonna be a really cool project and process, and the goal is to, you know, have a company that is super awesome and does right by the community and is a positive contribution to all that, as well as like be able to provide jobs. Like, wouldn't that be cool to be able to have an opportunity to like provide jobs and get people stoked? And you know, that'd be something that I've always wanted to be a part of. This one is done. We'll swap over, do the other one, do this process again. Make sure there's no dirt or dust underneath it. Pull this out. Make a really wild, loud sound. The scariest part is making sure that you do this in a nice reverse wave so that the air doesn't go. But if you're like off on an angle, you can literally like miss a sticker, and I've done that plenty of times, unfortunately. You also don't want to waste too much extra material, you know? So going from the center, going out, making sure that we got all this. Cool. Boom, got this. So yeah, we're cooking. We're cooking. A little extra down here, not the end of the world. Got this. Boom. Once you like start getting in the flow of like making stickers, this is definitely a pretty easy process. Boom, just like that. All right, let's go ahead and do the black. What is the black paper? Ooh, look at that. This freaking looks good. I'm excited. All right, so we got the black paper. I'm gonna cut this down the middle again and try to do my best to keep it as straight as possible. Put enough pressure on. I kind of messed that one up. Any of the stickers that end up going bad, I just use them for my own stuff. So that it's like, not throwing them away, that's for sure. Like this one would be kind of a little tricky, but I think we can save it. I think it's savable. Right toe, here we go. Boom. Turn it over a little bit. Here we go. And whew, that was a good one. I don't know if you saw that. The flow was fantastic. Drop that down. Yeah, freaking sick. And the winter is so close. I'm so excited about winter. I've kind of said this in a couple of the past videos that I have, is like, man, my hip is just not been that sick, and I've been seeing a couple PT people. Big shout out to Josh and Alyssa for helping me out. You probably might have seen them on the channel. They've been helping out, trying to get my hip sorted. Because my goal this year is to do 200 days of snowboarding. Like, that sounds sick. 2 years ago, before I got like hip surgery, I did 180 days in a row. So I was like, that's like really close to 200. So it's definitely like part of the challenge that I'm trying to do. And this is gonna be the last one that we have to do. Then we're gonna move on. So yeah, imagine, oh man, 200 days. Sounds freaking incredible. All right, so if you're like still paying attention and still listening, I'm gonna drop our secret code word. Ooh, I kind of messed this one up. All right, so the code word is going to be 2017 GTI. If you're here and you hear that, type it down in the comments below. And 2017 GTI is gonna do like secret word dash 2017 GTI. That's the kind of car I have. And I freaking love my car. It's like one of the most amazing cars for the snow that I've ever experienced. Obviously, I wish I had an all-wheel drive car, but it's still pretty freaking fantastic. But if you're the first person to put that little secret keyword down below, type it right now, you are gonna win some stickers. I'm gonna send you like a 3-pack stickers. It's not gonna be warm up. That'd be weird, but I will send you some Benetek stickers. I'll have a couple different options that are gonna be down below. So appreciate you. We're not done here yet. I'm gonna keep going with a couple more of this, but we're gonna hop into a time lapse. And that's how we make stickers. If you're interested in picking up a sticker, check out shopbenetek.com where I got the goggles, hoodies, all sorts of awesome stuff. And we're gonna be adding a lot more, so definitely come back. And on that note, you're amazing. I appreciate you hanging out, vibing. Give it a like, thumbs up, subscribe, all that fun stuff. You're amazing. Okay, bye. I don't know how to end these things, so on that note, awkward.